My name is Cliff Thomas, contingent 17, St. Anne's 2001, Harvard 2005. I'm the lead founder and executive director of Invictus Preparatory Charter School, a 5th through 12th grade college prep charter school for East New York, Brooklyn. For the last 2 years, we have planned and recruited the best and the brightest to get on this team. And that team will be providing a college prep education to 90 5th grade students starting this August 2011. The majority of families in East New York receive public assistance of some kind. On average, students are reading between 2 and 3 years below grade level. We really plan on establishing an incredible focus on literacy. Starting in 5th grade, all of our students have 3 English classes every single day. One devoted entirely to nonfiction reading analysis, one devoted entirely to writing mechanics and grammar, and one that's more of a Socratic seminar to really start getting students ready for that college level thinking, analyzing, talking, discussing experience. I grew up in the Gowanus houses in central Brooklyn. My dad was in the Army. Both my parents were in the Army, actually. They were overseas. My dad was a staff sergeant, so ran kind of a pretty tight household. But he dropped out of high school, actually, in 9th grade. My mother never went on to any post-secondary education. They both joined the Army right as soon as they turned 18. I am a self-professed dinosaur geek. I'm incredibly interested in vertebrate paleontology, remain incredibly interested in it, was dead set on this idea of becoming the next Bob Bacher or Jack Horner and being out in the West and digging up dinosaur bones, but then quickly realized halfway through that the only reason I was afforded this luxury to entertain such notions was because educational opportunity and educational doors were open to me that were simply not open to the vast majority of students in New York City. And I knew that if I was going to dedicate my life to anything, it would be to opening more of those doors to more students in New York. Many prep alums come back to their communities and decide to give back specifically through education. The truth of the matter, I think, in the charter school world is that a lot of the reform isn't coming from individuals that hail from the communities that they're trying to serve. We can't account for the things that go on at home. We can't account for years past of academic preparation and what schools have done. What we can account for as educators is what happens in our classrooms every day starting from day one. Does this take time and a huge amount of work and a huge amount of planning? Absolutely. Is it something that can be done and has been done before? Absolutely.
I'm Jessica Johnson, Prep Contingent 8. I attended the Hewitt School, and when I graduated, I went to Northwestern University. I serve as the Vice President and Corporate Secretary of Johnson Security Bureau. Johnson Security is a third-generation family-owned and operated security provider located here in the South Bronx. We've been very fortunate in the past few months to have experienced growth in spite of the economic challenges. We've nearly doubled the number of employees that we've hired, and we've also nearly doubled the number of clients we serve and the number of contracts that we have. The Bronx overall is the county with the highest level of unemployment across all of New York State. So granted, I can't move the county by myself, but every one person that I put to work does make a difference. People see us here in the community, they realize that you don't have to be old and of a certain background to run a business, and that you can be successful coming from this neighborhood. So hopefully that encourages other young people that look like us and that have similar origins and backgrounds to know that they can do whatever they want to do. It's very scary to be responsible for the livelihoods of several people, because you realize you're not just responsible for those individuals, but you also have an impact on their families, which was one of the greatest challenges my brother and I faced when our father passed away. His funeral was on a Thursday, and payday was the very next day, and we had to make the decision, were we going to continue in the legacy of the business and keep it going, or we're going to take our ball and call it a game and go home. And when we made that decision, we figured we'd be in for the long haul. I can't even fully put it into words what the prep experience has meant to me. Even as I went through the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program, as they asked us to complete assignments while we were yet running our businesses, and I would hear some of the other entrepreneurs complain, I thought it was nothing. I wanted to tell them, man up. I mean, imagine being in 5th and 6th grade and having 2 book bags and trudging on the trains to go to classes and giving up 2 entire summers. That's commitment. Those are the things that you do if you want success. And I learned that from Prep for Prep.
I'm Vicente Diaz, Prep for Prep 9, Contingent 5, matriculated to the Holderness School, and then I went to Brown University for my undergraduate studies, then went to Yale School of Medicine and followed that up with Yale School of Management for an MBA. I did my internship at Cornell, my surgical residency in ophthalmology at Yale New Haven Hospital. I was recently honored with the invitation to join my alma mater's clinical faculty. And so one session a month I will be teaching Yale residents as well. Joanna has an immunologic condition in which her immune system attacked her eye and caused her to become legally blind. Her vision was debilitated in this eye to the point that she couldn't recognize the face of loved ones. Once we were able to control her disease, she became a surgical candidate. So there's a special connection that you make with patients when you understand the culture. And in Joanna's case, her family had this immediate attachment to me because they realized not only did I know what I was doing, but I also knew where they came from. They were Dominican, and my parents are Dominican. If she continues to heal as well as she has, then my hope for her is that she will be able to lead a normal life. And today, she is starting to read letters from the eye chart for the first time in a long time. As gratifying as it is to help one person like Joanna, I recognize that through technology development and through business, I can help millions at a time. While I was in business school, I founded a medical device company for the treatment and management of glaucoma. Glaucoma is the world's leading cause of irreversible blindness. The way that we currently treat glaucoma, we wait for vision loss to manifest itself. I think we can do a lot better. I think waiting until vision loss has happened is in some ways a failure. So I've developed a device in which a microchip is implanted in the surface of the eye, which measures the eye pressure in between office visits. And if the pressure ever goes to a dangerous level, a message will be delivered in real time to the patient's iPhone or BlackBerry, which will let them know that they should take their medicine, thereby avoiding vision loss. I was always ambitious, and I always knew where I wanted to go, but Prep for Prep gave me the tools to get there. Prep for Prep is a brilliantly inspired program, and I think it's years ahead of its time, and I think that the impact that it has not only on its alumni, but hopefully on society at large is, and I think will continue to be, very powerful.